say I love this episode, and part of that just comes from, I think, my changing perspective on what I look for in One Piece nowadays. And like this is one of those episodes that really just got me so excited, so pumped, because one thing I really appreciate more often than anything nowadays with One Piece is when they take Luffy out of the picture to give other characters the spotlight and give more time for other characters, and how time to work off each other and experiment with different dynamics as well. And I can't entirely recall from memory how much of this episode was from the manga and how much of it is anime original. But the idea of an entire episode with Zoro and Law teaming up, is one of those things where initially you think it's good on paper, but can it work in real? But can it actually work? And because it sounds like a bit of a mismatch when you think about it, but the way both Zoro and Law play off each other in this episode just makes it so damn good, and just so damn enjoyable, in only the ways that One Piece can make it work, because of the because of all the personal strength of these characters and just how well we know them, while balancing that with the idea that this, when you get down to it, this fight in itself isn't really one that's meant to be Kaido just slow him down. And ultimately Zoro did get top billing, but I also like how that we still did get a reminder that Law is a capable fighter. He's not just a support. He's not just there for support, which is arguably what he has felt like a good chunk of during this arc. Even in his battle against Hawkins, he largely felt like he was just there to support the effort. But here it did feel a little, and while there was an element to that too, it did feel like Law did get a little bit of time to shine as well. Again, not as much as Zoro, but he did get his moments. I guess if I did have one major criticism, though, is that the episode itself, again, is pretty straightforward. It's just Zoro and Law facing down Kaido. That's pretty much it. And the episode pretty much marks the return of an old fan favorite technique from Zoro. 9-sword style Asura, but this time empowered by the might of Enma. And yeah, you can tell the animators definitely had a lot of fun drawing that moment, because that's where the animation went absolutely insane. And it's one of those things where, even though the animation was amazing in this moment, the artwork was a little spotty in places. But even then, I didn't care all that much, because it just feels so good to see the anime just giving Zoro so much more to do, and just giving Zoro his due, a lot more than I think the manga did, honestly. Don't get me wrong, Zoro has his great moments in the manga, but it kind of felt a little bit like he was it kind of felt a little bit like he was still being downplayed somewhat. He had his moments, but they were a little bit more spread out. But it still did that, while still at the same time still showing that you need more than one fatal hit to really take Kaido down. Although in this case, that one fatal hit, the one major blow that Zoro did deal to Kaido, also might be the thing that does start to shift things in this fight, if ever so slightly. Because Kaido on the surface seems like an unstoppable force, but he isn't as shown many times over, he isn't invincible either. And every hit that is landed is making that difference, however small, with both. And now that Zoro has landed such a major hit, I think that is going to help in Luffy's fight, in how Luffy fights Kaido now. Now, with both Zoro and Law swiftly getting taken out of the picture, though, Luffy gets back up to face Kaido at the end of the episode. And I will admit, at the risk of dragging out the pacing, I actually would have kind of been okay with seeing the fight continue on for just one episode longer. But again, Law and Zoro, it's understandable, because Law and Zoro weren't meant to defeat Kaido. only stall him long enough in order to regain consciousness and regain his power and all that. I also like how this episode showed so many things not entirely going to plan, because even though we do know how this all ends as manga readers, it does still keep things a little fresh and knowing just the little details, like with pretty much Big Mom's recovery after being booted from Onigashima and getting back up. We learned that the Heart Pirates were planning to actually make a move, but they were only able to do that after Big Mom was defeated. But because she got back up and running, things on that end kind of got delayed. Beyond those two things, though, this is an episode where I kind of forgot how much I love Kid's proactive mentality during this whole arc. Like, he's the one in this battlefield who's willing to jump headfirst into dangerous situations the others are, I'm not going to say are not willing to, but are definitely a little more cautious of acting on. And in this case, for Kid, it's just so happens that making sure Big Mom is dealt with happens to align with his own goal of settling his score with her as well. Because we have to remember, even though he's got a score to settle against Kyle, he's also got just as much of a score to settle against Big Mom. And I do admit, Big Mom calling out to Prometheus feels a little bit, while pretty much drowning, felt a little strange to me, because unless it's a thing that's based on willpower, I was given to believe that Devil Fruit Eaters immediately go into that brief coma-like state when underwater. But in this episode, while Big Mom was floundering, she's still very much conscious. It's one of those things where it's a little bit out of the norm of what I remember seeing. I'm pretty sure every Devil Fruit Eater that does it, they are in some way. I know they're unable to swim, but I think they do go into that sort of coma-like state that Luffy goes into, I think. But I don't know, it's weird. With that said, we also get arguably a very creepy scene where Prometheus convinces Big Mom to cut Zeus loose. He's no longer fit to serve as a personal homie. The scene itself is very disturbing, just how malicious Prometheus was acting in this moment, and especially in how it shows that Zeus and Prometheus have much more autonomy than any other homie Big Mom has created, and partially probably because they are part of her soul. And in Prometheus' case, I like how we're kind of seeing he's actually scheming, he's using Zeus's failure to twist things to his advantage. The only thing I wish, I'm saying that he's no longer fit to be Prometheus' partner. The only thing I wish I got to see in this part of the episode, though, is a little bit of Kid in a 1v1 Big Mom, in a 1v1 fight on Big Mom, but that's obviously for later. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Twitter, analyze Crunchyroll, push the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight Running, signing off. Later, everyone.